Yo guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into some seriously cool throwbacks that'll take you straight into the past. Let's kick it off with one of the greatest silent film legends ever. Buster Keaton, the great stone face, ruled the 1920s and 40s with his deadpan look and insane stunts. These vintage photos show how this dude went from silent star to full-on Hollywood legend, leaving behind a legacy that still inspires filmmakers today. Now imagine looking at old black and white photos that suddenly burst into color. That's what happens when you see these colorized shots from history. It's wild, like stepping into a time machine where people from the past feel alive again. The colors bring out the vibe, the mood, and the raw emotion in a way plain black and white just can't. Speaking of vibes, weddings back in the early 1900s were a whole mood. These beautiful photos show brides in elegant gowns, grooms looking sharp in traditions that captured love a century ago. It's crazy seeing how people tied the knot back then compared to the big productions we see today. But not everything from the past would fly today. Check out these vintage parenting photos, kids riding in cars without seatbelts, playing in ways that look pretty risky now. Back then, it was totally normal. It's wild to see how much parenting standards have changed and how safety became such a big deal over time. Then there's Betty Brosmer, the 1950s bombshell with that impossible waist. Her hourglass figure was straight up legendary and made her one of the most famous pinup models of the era. These photos show exactly why she became such a beauty standard of the mid-20th century. Men weren't left behind either when it came to style. Vintage men's hairstyles tell a story all on their own. Slicked back looks, clean side parts, and those bold pompadours. Each cut screams its own era, showing how hair was more than fashion, it was straight-up identity. Now let's time travel to Dublin in the late 1800s and early 1900s. Early photography captured everyday street scenes, local life, and the city's character in such raw detail. These photos give us a front-row seat to Dublin's transformation and let us feel the pulse of the city more than 100 years ago. Jumping into the swinging 60s, Ann-Margret takes the spotlight. A total beauty icon, actress, and performer, she lit up the screen with fiery energy and timeless charm. These vintage photos capture her glam style and show why she's still remembered as one of Hollywood's most unforgettable stars. And you can't talk about the 60s without mentioning the hair. Big hair was everything. Towering beehives, curls that defied gravity, and styles that screamed confidence and rebellion. Those hairdos weren't just fashion, they were a symbol of the bold spirit that defined the entire decade. Finally, let's talk about women on motorcycles in the early 20th century. These vintage photos are powerful, showing women breaking stereotypes and chasing freedom on two wheels, way before it became common. They weren't just riding, they were making a statement about independence and rewriting what was possible for women in their time. So these vintage photos don't just show us the past, they let us feel it. History isn't just something you read about, it's something you see, something you connect with. And these snapshots, they're proof that every era had its own fire.